He has a stomach virus, and Edge is taking his temperature. Man, that's amazing.
Shit.
Meet Marcus. You may know him from the Untitled Manny and Marcus show and the Sharpshooters Wrestling.
Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast.
You apologize for what you did to us. You apologize now.
I'm Eric. I'm Eric, the grown-ass man. As you guys can tell, that Manny and Mark is a little upset with me because I just started the show and messed up the opening without letting them know. I apologize, gentlemen, but I've been through a lot the last couple of days. It's been a lot going on.
You feel like you're doing one chore means you've been through a lot. That's what it seemed like. Maybe Andrew is not that hard.
He is. He's a very, very difficult person to that. But I am joined by Manny, or Lord Manny Hayes, and
the first Filipino in space. You can't disprove that.
You know what? I'm going to come here and say, no, it's not true. It's not true.
Marcus, how are you going to disrespect the Filipino people, man? Let this man have his accomplishments.
I believe if there was a first Filipino to go to space, and one would be Manny Pacquiao. Two, Manny can't prove that he was in space, and he would not take me to court.
First of all, if you're willing to believe Levi, you should be willing to believe your co-host.
No, Levi has anonymous sources, and their emails, so it has to be fact. And no one has commented on Keith Lee. You're going with something outrageous as space. Levi is in the realm of reality.
Hey,
if Tyrese and Ludacris can go to space, why can't I?
They were the first brothers from the hood in space, Marcus. So I agree with Manny. He could be the first Filipino that went to space. I'm also joined by Marcus.
That's not true, too. I'm sure there's some hood dudes who actually got out the hood and made it as astronauts in NASA.
I'm also joined by Marcus, the grand finale. What accomplishment have you had, Marcus?
Well, fuck it. I jump from car to car with magnets, motherfucker. That's what I do. I survived a missile attack. A missile attack. And I had the missile turn on themselves. That's what I did.
Well, I've drove through a field of landmines and to calculate the exact amount of speed I should go over one so I don't explode. But with that being said, I want to point out the Untitled.
Motorbike.
I want to point out the Untitled. This because I want to start everything off on a very positive note of this show, and I know that the Untitled Manny and Marcus show, Marcus and Manny have been a champion of this individual for a long, long time. And you know, a couple of weeks ago, this person hit some rough times. However, this person celebrated a birthday, and I wanted to give Manny and Marcus the opportunity, since they made the hashtag very famous of saving Billy Kay, to wish Billy Kay a happy birthday. She posted this picture on her Instagram. You know, to celebrate.
Why is that not the cover of our thumbnail today?
Why am I toe-end?
I'm sorry.
We know about your foot fetish, okay?
So I don't know.
Space, and ever since then, you got a foot fetish.
I don't know if you guys got the opportunity to wish Billy Kay a happy birthday, but I wanted to give you guys this opportunity. Also, she took this picture 2 years ago. She decided after being released that she would release this on her Jessica McKay Instagram page. And Billy Kay, we wish you the happiest of birthdays. Anyway, I just started off with a little eye candy for you guys. How are you guys doing today?
First of all, that is pointless for the audio listeners because they will not see anything. So once you hear that, go source out Billy Kay's Instagram to see that naked picture.
You know, it was beautifully shot, man. I must admit. And if you wanna be more involved and see some of the video features that we add, you can always check us out on our YouTube channel, and it's an easy channel to find. It's DA Sharpshooters, aka The Sharpshooters. And also, while we're at it, I'm sorry, guys, I got to put you guys up in smoke. Because you can email us at thesharpshooters@gmail.com where you can send an email to us and let us know what you feel. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it fixed where it's not as smoky, but unfortunately,
You're making us ashy, fam.
Man, we live in the smoke, man.
I feel like Taz is walking through the door. That's how smoky it is. That entrance.
How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Manny, I'll start with you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Interesting day of doing nothing. So yeah.
Have you been watching a lot of the football that you guys like to call?
Yes. It's been 2 days of no football because we're moving into the knockout stages. Wales currently losing 2-0 to Denmark. And it's really nice to see the Danish people get some love because of that Christian Eriksen, who recently had a cardiac arrest during a game.
Yep. Man.
And so the Danes are going to progress into the quarterfinals. England are playing on Tuesday, which is why there is no Untitled Manny and Marcus show on Tuesday. There will be something in its place, I hope.
And that has been Manny on football. Marcus, I turn to you, my brother. What have you been up to? Just trying to stay alive and stay black in this country?
Well, just watching news and carrying on and whatnot, paying attention to stuff that's going on. And my LA Knights, my favorite hockey team in the world, was eliminated from the Stanley Cup tournament this week.
Marcus, it was not the LA Knight. LA Knight currently wrestles for NXT. I think you were talking about the Las Vegas Knights.
Correction, the Las Vegas Knights.
All right.
How can they be your favorites if you don't know who they are?
Manny, ask Marcus who his favorite hockey team. Ask Marcus who his favorite hockey teams are. Just ask him. Because we share this. Ask the question, Betty.
Do black people watch hockey?
No.
But we still have favorite teams.
Who's your favorite team? So if one of you say the Mighty Ducks, I'm canceling the show for the rest
Manny,
of the day.
Marcus,
hold on. Don't do that, Manny. One, my favorite hockey team could be the Mighty Ducks one day. And it could be the Kings the other day. And sometimes I even claim the fucking Sharks. Because I have bit time up to that area. And then there's the Vegas Knights. So my favorite team, who's ever closest to me, has a winning record at that current time. So currently, the team closest to me with the best record is my Las Vegas Knights.
So you're a glory hunter is what you're saying.
Manny, and guess what? I'm with him 100% because we are black and it is hockey and it's not much support for us. I remember at one point when Marcus and we supported the Long Beach Ice Dogs. We don't know what happened to them, but they were one of the teams we supported. And we were there when they won the IHL championship. So yes, we search for championships. We are bandwagon jumpers. Let's go Kings. Let's go Ducks. Let's go Knights. And let's go the San Jose Sharks, who when Juneteenth happened, they broke the chains. Did you guys ever see that picture of them breaking the chains with the shark?
No.
I will find that picture.
I imagine it being like Street Sharks.
Mark, you've never seen this picture. Man, it's the greatest picture ever of San Jose.
But, they real sports notes. It's been a roller coaster of emotions with the NBA playoffs going on and the Clippers going down 2-0-2 again, only to be down 2-1 today and may tie it up one more game. As this is what they do. They play basketball like Hulk Hogan wrestled matches in which if they hawk up after being down early in the fight, they're going to lay that boot and that leg drop and come back and win the championship.
That's all we can ask for.
Shout out to Ben Simmons, man. May God bless him and his jump shot that he needs to get.
I mean, at the end of the day, that is something that needs to be addressed. And if he wants to go and take his talents to LA and address it there, he can. Because, I'm all about that life.
The LA media would eat him alive.
They would.
Are you still looking for the picture? Or are you ready?
No, I have the picture.
Because I ain't got time to be dillying around here. Oh, wow.
Was that the one?
Yeah.
I thought there was a more like professional graphic.
Oh,
of
no,
it, where it was
wait.
just a chain.
Well, because the chain, and the one I saw, the chain was broke, but that's the one I found on quick short notice. With that being said, we're talking about chains being broken.
WWE brothers in the ocean going like this.
WWE took it upon themselves to.
Free, Mr. Shark Man.
We had a Black Wednesday when they released a bunch of superstars, but now we had a Black Friday on June 25th. WWE cut ties
not good Black Friday.
with numerous WWE superstars. And I don't know.
Can we paraphrase? I know they call them wrestling superstars, but I'm going to say 100% of these people weren't actually stars.
Okay. That's fair, because I'm going to start at the bottom of the list, and then we're going to actually give some time to a few people on the list that we will dedicate more time to talking about. So August Gray was released. Kurt Stallion was released. The Bollywood Boys were released again. Arya Davari was released, showing that he can never work with his brother because Sean Davari was hired as a producer in the back, so they can't be in the same building at the same time.
When did they hire?
He's been back for a minute. Tony Nese.
I saw him in MLW like a week ago. I feel like
Marcus, you know that's like a subdivision of WWE that they just don't acknowledge. It's okay, my brother. Tony Nese, Marcus, his 6-pack of abs, he has to go take that and count them someplace else, has been gone. Arturo Ruas has also been released. Marina Shafir has been gone. And these are just some of the low level. Before we get there, as Montez Red Cup said.
Low level?
Yeah, as Montez Red Cup said, RIP 205. Marcus, I know you have been a profound watcher of 205 Live. These people are staples. Marcus, how will 205 Live survive with this?
205 Live was just, it wasn't a number of weight limit. It was how many people actually watched that show in this combined time of existence. Like, that show was dead weight from the beginning, from the word jump. I watch it every now and then, mostly during the Buddy Murphy era and Mustafa Ali era and the Cedric. But after that, once the pandemic happened, there was no reason to ever tune into that show. And they were throwing names out, and they released all these guys, but they should have released Tony Nese and Arya Davari years ago, for the simple fact they weren't never going to use them for anything else. None of these people were ever going to get used. They need to stop hoarding all this talent and let these people go. You want to talk about Jill Team? How about the Jill Team of the 205 Live division? Break the chains. Let them go.
Now, Manny, as Marcus said, breaking the chains, and he was a profound watcher of 205 Live. Manny, I have a question for you. Of the names that I have named, is there any one of those names that you would have kept on your roster if you could have?
I would have kept none of them. But the main thing is, on one of our shows in the last week, I blame Marcus for the release of Arya Davari and Tony Nese.
Whoa.
Because he referred to them as 205 Purgatory. And once that got out in the universe, Vince was like, I gotta fire him.
So, you know, I wish I could say that Marcus had that power, because I remember it was about a year ago, could have been 6 months ago. Marcus was really chanting the name of releasing of Matt Martell and Chase Parker, better known as Everrise, because they used to go underneath the armpit. However, they found a nice place in Marcus' heart. However, they did not make Black Friday. Marcus, were you sad to see Everrise not rise up to the occasion and get cut just like the other guys?
So this week on the Untitled show, I believe I told Manny this. I said I think I'm going to buy an Everrise shirt and wear it.
It's probably on sale now, Marcus.
I know. I did not know that I would not have that opportunity if I waited any time longer, and it hurt. It was a complete 180. They, to me, became the male version of the Iconics of NXT. They were entertaining. They had their moments, and I was dumbfounded by their release. I was shocked. All these other names, I saw it coming. But Everrise seemed to be getting traction for the first time in their career by having random segments with people, and then this cut happened. I was like, damn you, Nick Khan, damn you, Vince McMahon, and damn you, Triple H for not protecting them.
And Manny, my question for you now, with Everrise being released, do we need them to sign an AEW just so we can have one match of Everrise versus the Young Bucks?
No. Oh wait, the Young Bucks versus the Fat Bucks.
Yes,
maybe.
Yes. You know you want it. You know you want it.
Maybe, but at least Everrise did one thing right on their way out. They put over the best big man in the game, Top Dollar.
Top Dollar.
Formerly the nicest man on A&E, but you know.
All right, Eric. We proposed this on the show on Thursday. Top Dollar. Who can pull them off better? Me, Manny, and I'm going to even throw yourself in this because you're a Top Dollar clone yourself. Who can pull off Top Dollar better? Who can come on this show and say they're a Top Dollar?
Marcus, I'm going to give it to you because you talk so much shit that it's just ridiculous. Like,
oh, no, we were going by looks.
By looks?
By looks.
Well, what? Not charisma?
Well,
damn it.
I can't do it because I can't grow a beard, so I couldn't get that accomplished. Manny is the right complexion, but I just don't know. But I'm willing to say something that is not even a part of the question, and I think Top Dollar might be the best big man in the game right now. I'm ready to give him that title because I really like what that man is able to accomplish.
I believe we declared that too on the show.
Okay,
I gave him the day to be title. I said that is my champion, and people need to sit back. And then Manny asked a question that he thought it would be tough for me. He said, who should become the North American champion? Should it be Swerve Scott or Top Dollar? And I still pick Swerve Scott over Top Dollar because I wanted Top Dollar to become the NXT champion or if not the real world champion.
So, like the thing about it, like, Billy Kay on her Instagram, she showed a lot of pictures from her party, and because I mentioned her name, so I'm going to show that picture again. My favorite one was the North American champion of Bronson Reed. He cleaned up, had his hair all slicked back, dressed up. He didn't look like the gentleman who was carrying the North American title in NXT. Montez asked a question for you guys. Why did you mention FUBU on Thursday in 2021? I'm curious, why did you guys bring up FUBU in 2021?
Because we were going to dress up as Top Dollar.
Okay.
They have a Top Dollar competition.
Personally, I feel like Top Dollar is more not a FUBU wear, but more of a Karl Kani wear. I mean, like Karl Kani and some Timbs. That's what I think he'll be rocking. Because
I think he's a Supreme wearer and all other beach brands.
I got that. But he seems like I'm in the early 2000s. I'm in my South Pole gear. Maybe some Mark Echo. Maybe he got some Echo.
Echo's still a thing, unfortunately. So now
I can't find my chain.
Now we're moving on to people who had a little bit more of a stint with WWE. And I'll turn to Manny with this question. Nikki Cross debuted her superhero gimmick on Monday Night Raw. And
superhero?
Well, she's a superhero. With that being said, it also coincided with the release of her husband, Killian Dane, who spent 5 years within WWE. Manny, is Killian Dane a loss? And is it true that Nikki Cross might have been the true prize of sanity? Because I think all of sanity is gone with the exception of Nikki Cross.
Well, I think that's definitely true. And then once again on Thursday when Marcus actually was confirming that it was Big Damo or Killian Dane that confirmed that the superhero gimmick was Nikki Cross's idea, he also did say that Killian Dane is a man looking like he's going to get released. And then what happened the next day? Killian Dane got released.
Marcus, you're speaking releases into truth. So how do you feel about being the Nostradamus of releases?
Oh, having a power like this is very daunting. So I'm going to use it wisely and choose my words correctly. Release Roman Reigns! They're going to release Roman Reigns tonight! He's going to go to AEW and he's going to change that product around.
So Another release that took place, this
no
gentleman has spent 11 years with WWE, and quite frankly, I'm saddened by his release, and I think it's one of those releases that I think is going to affect more than just the in-ring competition, because I could care less what he does as a wrestler. However, Tyler Breeze has been a staple on Up, Up, Down, Down, and hopefully they have some type of Up, Up, Down, Down contract that he can sign, because he is the negaduck to Xavier Woods, and with him being gone from WWE, I don't know if he can appear on Up, Up, Down, Down. Marcus, I know you're not a profound watcher of Up, Up, Down, Down, so I'm going to go to Manny right here. Manny, Tyler Breeze being let go.
It is quite sad. This is also the man that faced Juice and Thunder Liger at one point at TakeOver and lost, but needless to say, he was the only man that wrestled Thunder Liger in WWE. But I think he's going to be able to still appear on Up, Up, Down, Down, because Jessamine Duke still appears on Up, Up, Down, Down with the rest of her cohorts. So we should be seeing more Tyler Breeze on Up, Up, Down, Down, I'm assuming.
Marcus, do you have anything to add about Tyler Breeze, who admitted a couple of years ago that he had lost his passion? Or are you just more amazed that he has been with WWE for 11 years? 11 years. That's a long time.
Well, my whole thing is, I thought this release was coming years ago. Like, for him to last as long as he did, I'm really shocked. Like, the first wave of releases I thought he would be in.
Xavier Woods saved his job numerous times.
Yeah. So I just feel like this was just it was a matter of time, and I wasn't shocked that he got released this time in a release. I was always shocked that he hadn't been released before. I like Tyler Breeze, but they were never going to do anything with him.
Speaking of not doing something with somebody, I would say that Johnny Curtis, aka Fandango, has had a long stint with WWE. And quite frankly, it was a lot longer than I thought it was. I honestly didn't know he was 39 years old. But he's been with the company for almost 50. He's 39 years old. He's been with the company for close to 15 years. And honestly, I would say, in my impression, Fandango had a fairly successful career. I think he's not the status of Coco Beware, but the moment when he had the Fandango dance movement, that was probably the pinnacle of his career. And I would say he's better than Zack Ryder, because I think that's who I would compare him to. Zack Ryder or Fandango, if I could pick one of them, I would take Fandango. And I think he was always held back because he had so many untimely injuries. And I thought the team of Breezango was actually a really good team that no one really gave a shot, mainly Vince. Marcus, could you speak on Johnny Curtis, a.k.a. Fandango, and what will you remember most about him and his WWE career?
Well, the fact that he was debuted as Fandango, that whole era of his debut and him coming out with the one dancer who could dance and then change it up to Summer Rae, and then him surprisingly beating Jericho at WrestleMania and like his only WrestleMania. Huh?
He's undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he hasn't lost. And I feel like he's somebody I would sign for a few-day contract at AEW just so Jericho can get his win back.
Wow. Manny, what about yourself? I mean, Fandango was there. He had a career. I mean, do you think he will be somebody that we will always remember in the WWE universe?
I think he done well to stretch out this dancer gimmick for how long he did. I don't know how many years he managed to stretch it out, but he stretched it out longer than, as you mentioned, Zack Ryder did his gimmick, because that fell short quite quickly and got stale very quickly. It just felt like a career that was hampered by injuries, because every time Breezango got started, he would get injured, or Breeze would get injured, and then there was a lull, and then one of them was just doing nothing for a while, and I think that's what definitely hurt them. But I think we'll remember the small times of him.
Although
I'm going to tell you, that's not my highlight of Fandango's career, and I'm going to tell you this, and this is why he's going to be unforgettable, and him and Tyler Breeze both. the moon landing entrance. The entrance.
Not the Fashion Files. I feel like the Fashion Files.
Fashion Files. I'm joking about the moon landing, but Fashion Files was amazing. I'm just joking about the moon landing entrance is my favorite entrance.
I'm also going to say, Marcus, I think the moment that you brought up this brought so much joy to me. When they had Fandango with the real dancer, and Johnny Curtis was put into work for dancing, and they decided, you know what?
He was terrible.
He was gyrating, but Marcus, it got a lot worse. It got a lot worse when Summer Rae got attached to it. It was like, oh my.
And it was great.
So,
was
the
great.
group that I just named, I think the only person that they probably have missed the mark with, and I don't know.
Missed one.
Huh? I would
You
go with
missed one
Killian.
release.
I would go with Killian Dane. I think that Killian Dane at one point, I think on this show, maybe 2 years ago, we may have said had the potential to be one of the best big mans in the game. However, I will point out that I think our best big man in the game attribute is like a kiss of death for so many performers. Hopefully Top Dollar can survive this. No.
Harper was once our best big man in the game. And it was like, dang. And then they fired him like the week later. But with that being said, none of these people are the biggest releases.
No. I think more people were more outraged with the Black Wednesday when you had Aleister Black and stuff like go. I mean, I think
No. No.
You talking about the writer?
The biggest release from this week goes to Kenise, whatever her last name was. The writer.
Actually, she was
That was
dumb
the
enough
biggest
to go on a
release.
podcast.
Yeah. Because of the uproar that was a fucking meteor of a story that went crazy. And then it just burned out. And I attribute to her to all these releases that happened.
Personally for me,
WWE was like, we gotta release her, but we gotta do it with a collective group.
you know what? Personally for me, I just didn't care about her being released. I also didn't care about her not having any wrestling knowledge about that, because the one thing I've learned from doing this show is that wrestling fans might not be the best people to book shows because some of the ideas that they have are not the best. At the end of the day, though, she might have not been bright enough, because you shouldn't go about talking about a job that just hired you. You got to pass probation first before you start doing stuff. You can't start calling out on your second day at work and talking shit about your job. Manny, you have some experience in the HR. Can you please inform the people how stupid she was to do what she did?
Well, first of all, if you don't understand the product, why would you go on a podcast to talk about it?
Why did you apply for a job to do it?
Yeah.
No, I would always apply. You always apply for something you ain't qualified.
You're right.
Numerous times, there's stuff on people's CVs that they have never done before. Not mine. I've done everything. Just so you know.
I know Excel.
I
know Excel.
Marcus, knowing Excel, I can open it up, but I can't make no formulas, but I can open it up.
I know how to type a number in there and sum it up.
But yeah, like, why would you go on a show your ignorance only for the wrestling community to destroy you? The wrestling community got this lady fired. By the way.
Yes.
And then they made the biggest deal out of it, and then got this lady fired.
They are upset about it.
And then they get upset. Well, once again, it shows that the wrestling community can't be happy about anything. I also know a person who, on their resume, or their resume as I like to call it, actually put that they were a video producer because they have hosted a podcast for X amount of time, and that actually worked in getting them a job. I was quite impressed with, selling the multimedia design that they had to get a job. I mean,
How dare you? How dare you
What?
put my stuff out there?
I
I put my entertainment thing on my resume that actually got me a job. And still my current job.
I just want to point out, hey, I didn't put your name out there. You admitted it to yourself. At the same time,
It's too late now.
On my resume, it said I played guitar. Can I play guitar? No. Can I hold a guitar? Yes. And can I strum it? Yes.
I mean, if anybody follows me on my Instagram, you guys will realize that I spent 20 years at my current job, and that's not going to focus. So they gave me a pin.
Image, but whatever.
They gave me a pin that I'm never going to wear. But at the same time, I have never had to lie on anything because I've been at the same job. They call me No Ambition Air. Stay pat. No. Stay right there. I don't do shit. With that,
with no ambition.
With that being said,
that looked like you just that was your sober coin. Like, 22 days sober.
Sobriety. Not after those pictures from Mimosa Eric.
We gonna really go there, Marcus? We gonna really go there? Anyway.
How dare you?
Watch the drunk episode if you really want to understand that joke.
Oh, God.
With that being said, we have a word from somebody very important.
Meet Marcus. You may know him from the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show and the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. You may know he spent the majority of last summer living in his car, and now he's lost all his money in Vegas. Help Marcus by donating to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast or going to storefrontier.com/DSPN and buying some of our merch. Help today before it's too late.
I want to say that it's been sobering seeing Marcus in that state, and I want to give a shout out to Bill from Ohio for making sure that Marcus can eat by buying a shirt. Thank you, Bill, from the bottom of our hearts for visiting storefrontier.com/DSPN. And not only buying the blood shirt, the red shirt that when I showed Marcus and Manny this shirt picture, they were like, damn, I need to get this shirt. I think it is an amazing shirt. And to this day, the Untitled and Manny Marcus merchandise is the biggest selling merch on our channel. So continue to buy that merch because, as Montez said in the chat, Marcus is on food tokens, and we need to make sure Marcus eats so he can be here. Just saying. We really need to do that. So, a little game I want to play, and it has changed over time. I want to call it role play because, as you know, last week, there was a report that USA was extremely upset that Fox was able to secure a Hell in a Cell match between Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio, one of the first national Hell in a Cell match on national TV in a long time. So they were a little salty about that. So WWE decided to throw them a bone, and on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, they gave them a Hell in a Cell match of their own. It was Bobby Lashley versus Xavier Woods. Now, I'm going to pose the question to my two co-hosts in this situation. Would you rather not have, are you more salty that you didn't get the Hell in a Cell match? Or are you salty that your Hell in a Cell match was Xavier Woods versus Bobby Lashley? Manny, the floor is yours first. How do you feel about the situation?
Can I just say I didn't care? Is that an answer?
No, Manny, you have to care. You have to care.
No, you tell me which side of the argument I'm playing and then I'll do it.
No, what side of the argument do you want to play? Do you want to be USA salty that you didn't get a Hell in a Cell match, or salty that the Hell in a Cell match that you got was Xavier Woods versus Bobby Lashley?
I kind of like the match, so
This is not going the way I want it to go, so let me go to the other co-host, Marcus.
That's why you preempted. That's why you planned it.
Marcus, how do you feel about the situation?
Me, as being NBC executive, captain of the Peacock. They call me Peacock Jones. That's what they call me. The king of Universal. I am upset. I'm going to tell you a long story and make it short. All right? Long time ago, it was Christmas, and I wanted me a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle truck, and with all the band and the designs with the pieces, and I wanted all the Ninja Turtles. And you know what I got instead? Do you know what I got? Street Sharks. Fucking Street Sharks. Who wants the Street Sharks? In fact, who remembers the goddamn Street Sharks? At this point, it was the wrong toy, and that's how I feel like I got. Oh, Fox get the upgrade. They get The Rock's cousin and Rey Mysterio on national TV on Hell in a Cell. We get a consolation prize of the show with no momentum that no one watches, Monday Night Raw, of Bobby Ashley, who your head writer can't even name, and against someone who you two will admit has no chance of surviving in the world by himself, and that is Xavier Woods. This was the I have food. Can we go out and eat? Can I get McDonald's and get a Happy Meal? We have food at home. That was your food at home. It was SpaghettiOs. That's who he is. I am upset. I am flabbergasted at Universal and NBC. I give you an F you, and I ain't talking about Friends.
With that being said, Marcus, I'm gonna piggyback on what you said. Like, you're right. This does seem like the McDonald's dinner of what you can say. However, I will point out that I think I enjoyed Xavier Woods versus Bobby Lashley more than I did Rey Mysterio against Roman Reigns. At the same time, because I need Xavier Woods to get his ass kicked, because he was talking like he was a big man. Like, when he started going over his accolades, I'm like, dude, you haven't done anything on your own except for up, up, down, down. At the same time,
No.
What, Manny?
Tyler Breeze has made that channel more than what it was to.
Let me tell you who makes that channel. Kofi Kingston, Tyler Breeze, and sometimes The Miz. They make that channel go. And even Joey Head Rocker.
Hey, Baron Corbin has showed up and he was also good.
Woods is only a person that created the show, but everybody else is the reason you watch the show.
Yeah, if he didn't have friends, that would be a terrible channel to watch.
Damn. No, it's a sad. If I had some sad music, I would play it right now, because that just means that I'm the Xavier Woods of this channel. No one comes for me. Dude.
Oh, no.
You don't need sad music. You just need like a instrument.
All I got is this. That's all I got is a triangle. But
you want me to give you one tier?
No, man. Don't give me a
Zoom
tier.
in on my eye. I'll give you one tier. Don't make me give you one tier. But I would be upset, though, because this felt like my girlfriend. I cheated on my girlfriend, and this is me trying to make up with her. That's what that match felt like. USA felt like they were cheated on, and then they were like, here, baby, I got you this, too. Come on, it's the makeup ring.
What do you think? They picked up the phone and was like, Vince, what the fuck?
But
I've been fucking with you for years.
But let's be honest.
You've been giving us a Hell in a Cell match. What did we get, 20-something years ago on TV? And out of the fucking blue, you give the Rey Mysterio Roman Reigns? We have the Peacock. We have USA. We have a pay-per-view this Sunday. How could you do this to us?
But with that being said, though, I mean,
did you talk about a reverse story?
What's the reverse story?
Fox is unhappy with WWE for talking about Peacock far too much on SmackDown.
Yes.
Man, you know what?
Can I play the Fox executive? Please.
Can I say, this is a prime example why in relationships you should never have threesomes, because they always go bad when one person is thinking that you're doing more with the other person than when you're not, and you just try to do the same thing. I can understand Fox.
Be fair.
I can understand Fox being salty about Peacock Channel being mentioned, but at the same time, WWE has been sleeping with USA for a long time, and Fox is the new mistress. You gotta let some shit go. You guys got Roman versus Rey Mysterio. I mean,
no, but you know what? But you know, we don't have our own streaming service. All right, we don't have Fox Plus, where you can watch reruns of Married with Children and reunions and shit. We don't have all that, all right? We don't have our own conglomerate pay-per-view site where people can watch out. We're not ABC or ESPN or anything. We don't have that at Fox. All we have is Fox News, okay? That's what we got. We got the loyal Trump supporters. We should appreciate more love, okay? More love for us. This is a national show. I'm tired of advertising the Masked Singer all the time. Okay? I want you to commit to us, all right? Acknowledge us. Fox is like the Roman Reigns of networks. Acknowledge me.
But Marcus, at the end of the day, the Fox News, I think, get higher ratings than any of the wrestling shows on any of the networks, because people love watching that. So I just think Fox is being salty in this situation. However, since there's not much to talk about on Monday Night Raw, we might as well keep it here real quickly. Is that I think that the Coffee Xavier Woods Hurt Business storyline is probably the only thing that is remotely entertaining that is taking place on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, I disagree.
I was gonna go to Manny first, but since Marcus disagreed, go ahead. Why do you disagree with that statement?
Go to Manny first. I go to Manny first because that's the way you want to do it, Mr. WWE, and me being a Universal executive.
Wow.
You want to screw me over and go straight to Fox.
Manny, I thought he was a Fox
Straight to
executive.
Fox.
Now he's
around here. I've been fucking with you for years. For years. We're practically family. And now Mr. New Booty over here, Fox come by. Mr. Fox.
Wow.
He come here, and now you want to go to him first. Now just go to him first. Go ahead. And
Wow.
give him all the cage matches.
This
give him all the cage matches.
this network threesome has really went downhill really quickly. But Manny, with
But
that
the thing is, he's playing both executives like he's Sid Justice in the 90s,
Yeah.
jumping between WWE and WCW.
yeah, I mean, he doesn't know which side he wants to be. So, Manny, do you agree with me that the Hurt Business versus Coffee and Xavier is probably the only interesting thing going on Raw? Or
No!
okay.
You know who brings in our views on Tuesday and Thursday? I'm enthralled with whatever Alexa Bliss is doing. And whoever she's feuding with. And this superhero thing, I want to see what happens with it.
Well, I mean, the superhero thing is quite interesting for the simple reason that if you have Lily, who is a villain, it's clearly she's an evil villain. You do need a superhero to battle her. So it could go someplace with that. But Marcus, I'm pretty sure you weren't going to name Nikki Cross as being what you found entertaining. What did you want to name Mr. Fox/USA executive getting 2 pensions?
Well, I like to say, as the executive of USA, to say that we have tons of interesting things on Monday Night Raw that just doesn't involve Bobby Lashley and the ladies of Lashley. All right? This is what we got. We got Randy Orton and Matt Riddle.
Hey, it was almost like he was doing a Stephen A. Smith take, and then at that point he forgot, like, man, they really don't have that much. But okay, give us Riddle and Randy Orton.
Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, compelling storyline of trying to get Randy's affection after Matt Riddle has a hell of a match with Drew McIntyre. And Randy Orton, who cannot beat Drew McIntyre for the life of him, must acknowledge that he just did it, and he refused. He refused to do it. That's one. 2, do drop it, Eva Marie. Where the hell is this going? I gotta know.
It's like it's over already. It's almost like it's over before it even started.
It kind of ended when she was trying to tell people her name was Piper, and then she tagged herself out. They seemed to be breaking up, and there was a misagreement of what this relationship was
A misagreement? I don't even think that's a word. It's usually a disagreement.
Here at Universal. And here at Universal Studios, it is a word.
With that being said, let's talk about the A show in WWE. That is SmackDown. Roman decided this week because Jay still hasn't come to work, so I don't know if Jay has fell into COVID protocol or not. They're keeping it hush-hush, but he's in his feelings. But Jimmy is trying to be Roman's right-hand man. And before we get to the end of the show, Roman said, I need you to win a match in order to show that you are the man. Paul Heyman arranged the match for him to go against a former world champion, Dolph Ziggler. Marcus, did Jimmy Uso defeating Dolph Ziggler put into your eyes that he could be a replacement for Jey Uso?
Well, Jey Uso wasn't really beating nobody. Like, he was beating the right-hand man. Like, he had a hard time beating his own meat when he was the right-hand man. When he was with Roman Reigns. He couldn't do nothing. He lost 90% of the time. He was called main event Uso, but tell me how many main events did he actually win? I think he just disappointed.
That's a good point, Marcus. That is a good point. How many main events?
He won when it counted. He's the Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner.
Is it safe to say I think he is probably the person who has won that Battle Royal that they have mentioned the least of him winning that Battle Royal? Because, I mean, I think when Baron Corbin won, we got at least 5 mentions. When Cesaro won it, we got 5 mentions. When Braun won it, we got some mentions. Wait, did Braun ever win it? I think he did. But Jey Uso, no one talks about him winning the Battle Royal.
The rest of the people got fired. You don't want to mention it too much because Vince decides to fire those guys. Or they leave. Whether it's Mike Henry or Big Show, they all ended up in AEW.
So, Manny, as Marcus called you the new booty, that whatever. After Jimmy defeated Dolph Ziggler, he came backstage and he wanted the approval of the head of the table. At that point, did you realize, like I did, that he could never be the right-hand man because he's groveling too much? You know, you just have to be quiet and wait for the head of the table to acknowledge you. He was searching for that acknowledgement.
Yeah, he's trying too hard now. When the time was there, maybe a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, when Roman wanted him to acknowledge him and fall in line, did he? No. He said he ain't nobody's bitch and he made some merch. Now he's trying to suck on that dick.
He's trying
ain't having none of it.
He's trying to latch onto that left nipple and try to get some milk and try to be fed, and you just can't do it in this situation. So, you know, Roman was distracted because, you know, you have this groveling. What happened, Marcus?
I said that was graphic.
Yo, I mean, so, you know, Roman has dealt with this.
When you have latch on to nipple, it makes it sound a lot worse.
I mean, you know, sometimes you gotta latch on. So, you know, Roman was distracted. He was not focused, and, you know, he was ready to give his State of a Union because, you know, but he had to deal with a groveling Uso, so he wasn't completely focused. But he went down there best because that's what champions do. He went down there and he let us know that there are no more competitors for him to face. He has defeated them all, from Daniel Bryan to Rey Mysterio, and the list went on and on. And he said, there's nothing left for me to do. And at that point, I felt his pain. You are so dominant that you have nothing else to do. Then a coward came from the shadows. Well, actually, he kind of had played his whole entrance music, and it became beat down on sight.
Yeah, he gave full interest. It wasn't sneak attack at all.
No. But as Marcus said,
it was as selfish as anybody in the Fast and the Furious movies.
But as Marcus said, though, and I quote, it looked like that Roman got the best beating of his life because at the end of the day, it looked like his stomach was hurting. As you look at this picture, he got a stomach ache, and Edge was clearly dominant over this. Are you guys excited with the possibility of us finally getting the one-on-one match that we were supposed to get between Edge and Roman Reigns before it was interrupted by Marcus' boy, Daniel Bryan? Marcus, I turn to you.
Well, we still don't know if Daniel Bryan's going to interrupt this one. We're still on call, and I want breaking news. Hold on. Daniel Bryan will be added to this match as Money in the Bank as a rematch. No, I'm actually excited. I think it's going to be it's a good main event for Money in the Bank. Nice transition before we go into SummerSlam where the big challenges come out, because I'm glad this isn't the SummerSlam feud, and I hope they don't rematch it up at SummerSlam.
Manny, what about yourself? Do you think this one-on-one match is what we really need on SmackDown? But because I feel like SmackDown has been really hitting on all cylinders, except for this week. I think they took a back seat because it felt a lot more like Raw to me. But the match between Roman and Edge, is it something?
Well, I'm interested by it, but I'm also interested by the by Seth Rollins also earlier in the evening, who also proclaimed that he's the next in line. So it's also interesting to see where Seth fits into this. So maybe Seth interrupts at Money in the Bank, and then we get Seth and Edge leading into SummerSlam, which is what rumors are suggesting. But you never know with WWE; they could also reverse it very quickly.
You know, I thought the placement of Seth Rollins on SmackDown was kind of one of those, how do I say, a very convenient placement. And I thought it was also one of those placements to make internet wrestling fans to go crazy. Because the first thing I thought is like, oh, he interrupts Bianca Belair, and he's the baby daddy of the man's baby. So maybe they're trying to link that Becky Lynch is going to go after Bianca and her title at this point.
I don't think they.
And I mean, that was a stretch.
Now with Kenice being off the head writing roster.
With that, saying that, I am having a little bit, some trouble with the Money in the Bank qualifying matches and the logic behind these matches. Because first, for the women, it seemed like the women don't have to wrestle to qualify. Like the GM can come out and name them. Like Carmella got named for no good reason, and Liv Morgan. Wrong person. Liv Morgan had to come out there and prove herself, and we still don't know what's going on. And then also, we have the Money in the Bank match on SmackDown, where we had another return match between Big E and Apollo Crews, and a regular match, and the winner gets to compete. And the quickest referee in the world stopped from the Commander Aziz Spike. But then next week they announced it's going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a qualifying match, but it's a last man standing. I need some consistency. I don't think it's fair if a person can have a regular match to qualify and then the next person has a last man standing. Manny, are you okay with how we're doing these qualifying matches? Because even on Raw, it was convoluted.
No, SmackDown has flipped the script for qualifying for this. Because Raw, at least the women were having tag matches to try to get in, and then and men had decent singles matches to get in. With SmackDown, it's completely different. SmackDown has decided, I want my competitors to die before getting into this match.
Yeah, Mark. But here's my thing about it: they're ran by the same two people. Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville runs Raw and SmackDown, but yet they are doing it differently for each show.
Which I think can lead to the jealousy that Fox could be having. It's like, or USA could be having. It's like, wait, we're not getting these special. Why are we not getting a last man standing match? It's a very interesting category.
I don't care about that last man standing match.
Yeah,
so
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I'm sure they've gotten that already.
So were you guys shocked?
99.
Going to the Money in the Bank, were you guys shocked that Ricochet and Matt Riddle qualified for Money in the Bank? Like, is it a tease of WWE trying to tease us with some new blood possibly winning? Or is it just because these guys flip so well that they're going to make the match so much better? Marcus, I go to you.
I believe it was a strategic move because this will be the first pay-per-view other than WrestleMania to have fans back, and you want the fans to be involved, and you want them to care who actually wins this briefcase. And the fans have been clamoring for Ricochet to get deserves better, or and people like Riddle and Johnny Drip Drip has always been a fan favorite, even with the drip gun that cost Randy Orton that damn match. The drip stick was the most offensive thing this week. That was the most offensive thing. He shot that in his face. I would have killed him. I would have killed him if I was Randy Orton. But I feel like they want to have a great match, have people go ooh and ah, and I feel like the people they selected will give them that match.
So Manny,
Randy Orton don't need to be in no ladder match.
Well, but Marcus, I have a different question for Manny. Apparently, they announced on SmackDown that there's going to be a second chance where Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre will compete in a triple threat match on Monday Night Raw, with the winner being inserted in Money in the Bank.
This is how I know you have not been paying attention to what's. That was announced on Monday.
Hey man, I've been in my own zone, man. I've been in baby world. But with that being said, for the flow of the show, let's act like it happened on Friday when they announced this. Nettie, do we of the trio?
It's like 5 minutes after Randy Orton match.
I think we can all agree we don't want Drew McIntyre to win Money in the Bank, correct? So we don't want him in that match. I kind of want Randy to win.
I feel like they'll shoehorn him in. I feel like they'll shoehorn him in because I feel like the direction they're going in, they're thinking about breaking our RK Bro, even though it's probably one of the funniest things on Raw, which you, Marcus, as a USA exec, failed to mention.
No, that was the first thing I brought up. That was the first story I brought up. How dare you?
I like I don't know what channel WWE is on in the UK, but I love that he pointed the finger.
Randy is representing Telemundo. Raw is broadcast in Spanish in America, and he is upset that they get nothing.
Marcus,
get nothing dedicated to them.
You put some respect when you talk to the first Filipino in space, okay? You put some respect on his name, damn it. You put some respect on his name.
Over there in space.
So, what about the women Money in the Bank qualification matches? Like, would you have given Carmelo just that wide open door, Marcus? Like, is that the person?
Two-time Money in the Bank winner. She won it back to back, okay, in the same week. All right, so back up. She deserves to be in there.
Marcus, the first Filipino hand is up, so your mouth must go shut. Manny, what do you need to say?
Aaron, there's no other females on SmackDown. There are no other females in SmackDown. You have to put these two in. You have to put these two in because Bayley and Bianca are busy.
I'm assuming Sasha's going to show up from her day off to get into this match.
Sasha's going to show up at SummerSlam. All right, Sasha does the big bucks now. All right, that's Star Wars Sasha right there.
Can we say?
He ain't showing up.
I think that Sasha might have the best contract in WWE right now because she barely shows up.
What she wants.
So let's talk about NXT a little
Natty
bit.
getting in.
I don't want to talk about Natty getting in.
Natty getting in.
So
No, she ain't gonna wake up from that V-trigger.
Me trigger. Meltzer gave Mandy Rose and Natty 3 stars, and I was like, "That's the greatest women's match of all time."
with that being
Gave
said,
it 2 stars, isn't it?
we're jumping into the NXT realm of things, and I want to point out that the show started off with Adam Cole talking about he ain't gonna wrestle nobody, and then Carmelo Hayes tried to channel his inner John Cena and try to invoke
aggression.
Marcus.
Now, on the Thursday show, I felt like Carmelo went too far. He went too far. You don't go John Cena, and because at that point you're declaring yourself the next greatest wrestler of all time, or something like that. He came out there and went too hard. And when do you come down to him going with the ruthless aggression line?
He ain't no Jacob. It pissed me off, man, because I was like, I was like,
Jacob Cena.
I was like, Carmelo, you ain't been on the scene enough to even try to come up there and try to act like you doing something. Like, at the end of the day, we saw you for the first time last week. Like John Cena was wrestling in basic wrestling gear on SmackDown here and there for at least a month before he went out and challenged Kurt Angle. Like, and then
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
And let me be honest.
That was his debut, Eric. That was his debut.
His debut was against Angle.
That might be. But let me be honest. And this is honestly, this might just be all disrespect toward Adam Cole. I'm just not impressed. Like, going out challenging Adam Cole, just don't do it for me. You go out there, you challenge Top Dollar, say you got ruthless aggression. You go out there and you go challenge the champion who is losing his interest when he's on main event. It might be even losing Scarlett. Damn, they just don't want this man to succeed.
Wait a minute. Let me go to that story. Fuck everybody running with this story. Why am I doing a full entrance on a show no one gonna watch? On main event. This is a dark match, and I'm not gonna have my full entrance for this. Who am I trying? What eyes am I trying to steal with my full entrance for a show that no one knows when it airs, why it airs, on what network, or how to watch main event? You're not getting full entrance.
Well, someone said it best. You don't wear a suit to go order McDonald's.
You don't.
Yes.
You don't. But can we also
before we jump onto another story, they're thinking about making Scarlett a singles competitor, and she also wrestled a dark match before SmackDown, and she wrestled against the one and only, the Sharpshooters' own Shotzi Blackheart.
Damn right she did. At the end of the day, my favorite thing about
that was a Shotzi tryout more than I think it was a Scarlett tryout.
No, let me tell you, my favorite thing about the entire outrage over Killian, not Killian Dane, Karrion Kross, is the fact that for the most part, I know no one likes Karrion Kross. So the fact that you would want to see him fail.
There's a few. He's very.
Yeah, you got the 50. It's about 50-50, I think, at this point.
Well, I would say that 100% on this show, we don't care for Karrion Kross, so that's the only opinion that it matters to me. So at the end,
I think it's more 66 because I think Marcus cares about him.
Marcus, you care about Karrion Kross?
I care.
So Marcus, since you care about him, I'm going to do this, Marcus, and I'm going to sit back with my psychologist fingerling. So can you tell me, is he a demon? Is he a gladiator? Or is he just a good husband that wears nice clothes from time to time? What is his character, Marcus? What is his character?
All right. So when I hit you with my Care Bear stare, I'm going to let you know why I care about Karrion Kross. Let me tell you.
Care Bear stare.
You cannot hit me with a Care Bear stare without letting me know, damn it. Shit, my own Care Bear stare. There it is. There it is.
Come on.
Mine is the bar, man. Betty.
I'm not doing it.
You got a Care Bear stare?
Do you know why? Because it's two brothers now spraying love at each other, so you need to stop it.
Eric's the naked ducks in his Care Bears, spraying all that hate in the world. I think those were characters too. The hateful Care Bears.
Marcus, I'm setting the bar for my Care Bear stare right now. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I'm bringing all the Ballad Club with me. All right? That's the kind of Care Bear. I'm bringing all that with me. Spread all fin juice on you. But
No. How you gonna spray Finn juice when you trying to defend Karrion Kross? That's just nasty. That's just nasty.
Let me say, you want to answer your question, Eric? He's a man with multiple interests, okay? That's who he is, all right? He could be a Viking. He could be a pirate. He could be a magician. He could be a demon. He could be an MMA fighter. He could be anything because he's a three-dimensional character who have multiple interests. He can do whatever he wants because he's not going to be pigeonholed and just being a dancer like Fandango who got fired or a damn fool like Killian Dane who got fired. And shout out to Drake Maverick for making the third round of cuts after being released in the first round a year ago.
Manny, I don't know if he really did anything to defend Karrion Kross at all. I feel like he went all around the bush. Did he say anything to convince you that Karrion Kross is we should be more sympathetic to his cause?
No, I still don't understand what they want to do with him. Maybe Vince might have the answer, and then he'll be off TV for like 6 months after it.
So
shout out to Keith Lee, shout out to Keith Lee, who doesn't have the legal record for his name, can't patent his name, trademark his name, so he's off TV fighting a legal battle.
Man, I don't know what happened.
He's going to jail.
Man, what happened to the Keith Lee? He was first Vince chosen thing, and the next thing you know, he complained about his music a little bit too much, and now he can't even get on TV anymore. Trust me, I could use Keith Lee in this Money in the Bank. I need someone to break up the feud between Apollo and Big E. I don't need them to touch anymore. Hey, SmackDown writers, do me a favor. You know the story that you had written for Aleister Black and Big E? Just put Keith Lee in that situation. I mean, he is known as Killer Keith Lee. Please check out the Keith Lee story video on the YouTube channel. It's an entertaining watch. With that being said, someone else who was
Part 2 coming soon.
Something else that was quite entertaining to me that really caught me off guard on NXT was a match where it was supposed to be another squash match of Frankie Monet. However, Elektra Lopez stood out to me for whatever reason, and I said, you know what?
Whatever reason.
She
you know your girls.
She's thick, and that's why she stood out to you.
You know what? We might have many reasons why, but I was saying that.
Many is one. Thick.
I was saying that, I was like, Elektra Lopez might be a star in the making because, baby, she knows Carmen Electra, and she could have won the match if she wasn't trying.
Put two and two together.
No one has said that name in years.
I understand. But you know what?
Hold on. I said it last year during the Last Dance, okay?
But she could have won the match if she wasn't too busy trying to entertain the crowd with all her gyrations. Manny, could she be the next American version of Toni Storm coming in with the thickness, but she does a little bit more shaking going on?
Toni Storm ain't even on TV, Eric.
I know.
Toni Storm could get Toni Storm playing. Yeah, Toni Storm is playing the video game and can't get off level 2, where her opponent is Zoe Stark, who he's supposed to run through. That's what's supposed to be happening. Toni Storm should be the number 1 contender for the title, but yeah, she can't get past Zoe Stark.
There's one of two things. She's either on the island getting old with Keith Lee, or she's in the escape room with Keith Lee. 2 previews for movies I saw.
You're just naming trailers.
I am. But with that being said, the biggest news that took place on NXT.
You had to eat that nut right now?
No, it was a mint because my breath was kind of funky, so it was hitting me back on the microphone. I was like, nah. Had half funky breath. Diamond Mine debut. Tyler Rust, Marcus Boy Roderick Strong, a big Asian guy that I do not know who he is, and Malcolm Bivens. They are the Diamond Mine. Manny, are you satisfied with their debut, or is it just a work in progress, or we're waiting?
Eric, they beat up the Cruiserweight champion. The Cruiserweight champion. A championship that we probably isn't going to get recognized because it hasn't even got a show anymore.
You're a champion. That's like being especially in a country and they just blew up. Someone bombed their country. That country's not there no more. That's what he's at.
That made no impact. When I watched it, I was like, oh, So that's the Diamond Mine. It's not like they beat up Karrion Kross, not anyone of importance. They could have beat up Bronson Reed.
I think Bronson Reed would have been a better choice in this situation. Or even going after the tag team champions, whoever the tag team champions are right now.
MSK.
Yeah. I think that would have been a bigger impact if they would have went after MSK.
Yeah, so it was a lackluster thing for the best kept secret of all things going on in WWE right now. No one knew who was going to be in this group.
But the thing, so it's the charging battery that's different from Diamond Mine, correct? Or are they the same thing?
The charging battery, I think, is who did I say it was? Tegan Knox with allergic knees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but it could also be Ridge Holland with his bad knees because Oney Lorcan took his legs out.
Yeah, fucking Oney Lorcan.
So Marcus, with you, the Diamond Mine has Diamond Mine has debuted. They went to the lowest level title on NXT and went after Kushida in a match that the announcers was kept trying to tell me that Kyle O'Reilly versus Kushida is something that we really needed to see again. It's the last one. I'm like, I saw it already once. I don't need to see it again. But Diamond Mine showed.
How dare you?
Talking about?
How dare you disrespect this match?
I did.
This is a great match.
It was a good match.
I'm
sure you didn't watch
seen
it.
so far this week. What's your match of the week? What's your match of the week?
I don't want to answer that question for the fact that I don't want to. No, because I don't want to contradict myself. I don't want to be a Benedict Ardo. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to comment on what my favorite match is.
You're already a hypocrite. We all know this. You were the first person inducted into that.
The best match. You know what? The best match this week was when I saw that sparring that Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose was doing in the ring while they were having the photo shoot for Natty and Tamina. That was the best match I saw this week.
No, you know that's gonna pop the two of us. You can't pick that.
I picked it, damn it. I picked it.
No, there was no bell. There was not official match. There was no bell.
Hold on. I have a quote for you this week saying that was some bullshit. That was trash because you know the phrase "iron sharpens iron." You were like, "That's paper straw sharpening paper straw." That's what you were saying to me yesterday about what they were doing in that photo shoot.
Marcus, that sounds like an anonymous source to me. You know what I feel about anonymous sources? They don't have any weight.
I was there.
I don't know who you was talking to, my brother. I don't know who you was talking to. I don't know. But you know what? Yes, Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly was probably the best match of the week. But at the end of the day, it was sullied. It was sullied by the debut of Diamond Mine because I don't think we care about Kushida getting beat up. I don't know if Kushida has been established as that babyface champion that we should care about him getting destroyed because he had that whole feud with Santos Escobar. And, Marcus, what about you and Diamond Mine? Are you okay with them?
I give him a chance. But this is a man that gave Retribution a long chance and Raw Underground a chance. So take that for whatever salt or grain of salt it is. I give him a chance. To me, only thing I can compare them to is the Nightmare Family, and I like them better than them already.
Yes, I could agree with that because at the end of the day, to me, they seem like a less.
Oh, but Nightmare Family, I mean the Factory. Sorry.
No,
I meant to say the Factory.
To me, they were like a lesser version of Imperium because they don't have that imposing force. It's like, okay, no, who can compete with Walter? Then I don't think they can beat with Santos Escobar and his crew. They are not the Hit Row. I just don't know. Diamond Mine really needed a more impressive person. Like, the Asian guy is impressive looking, but I don't know who he is. So maybe next week.
Front man.
Yeah, they need a frontman. They need a better frontman that this looks like, hey, Roderick Strong has never been a frontman. He's been a goon. But only time will tell us.
Malcolm Bivens got a lot of work to do with this group.
He does.
This could make or break him. That's the thing.
But Manny, let's just say, and I will say, we are happy that he's not just working with Tyler Russ because there was a lot of work that he needed to do. At least he got a little bit more to work with right now. A little bit more.
Well, as I told Manny on the Thursday show that I like that all the speculation of who's Diamond Mine and what's going on with the Diamond Mine and all that. We never considered that the Diamond in the Russ had anything to do with it.
No,
never even considered that. He has Diamond in his name.
But I think one of my favorite moments from NXT had to be Papa John trying to turn face and try to be a rule follower just so he could get a title shot against Karrion Kross. And it warmed my heart, and I look forward to when Johnny Gargano could come and take and free NXT from the reign of Karrion Kross and become the champion again. Manny, do you think Johnny Gargano can be a face, or do you prefer him trying to be a face, but we all know he's a bad man with bad intentions?
No, I liked it, and I want him to turn face because there are no faces in that main event scene right now. So we need him. I need Johnny Gargano to make that change, but like to go through the trials and tribulations of having to face that he was bad and now he's becoming good. Like he returned the pencil. He returned a pencil to Regal's desk.
Who did Cameron Grimes punch? And I'm assuming we're gonna get that match next week because because Cameron Grimes is also going on that road of trying to become a face now after he was trying to be a bad guy.
I remember him showing up in his car, and then he walked in. He was flashing buddy to one of the bouncers, and I can't remember what he did.
It was some dude with pink hair. It was very interesting who that person was. I don't know who it was.
He deserved it.
He did.
Whoever it was, he deserved it.
He was talking shit. But Marcus, Papa John is a good guy. Are you appreciative of this?
I'm appreciative, but it's still not the best story in wrestling right now. That is the $1 Million Man story with Cameron Grimes and LA Knight.
No, I correct you, sir. I correct you.
Oh.
The best story going on is the trials of Boa being the worst big man in the game.
The trial.
Because there's something I forgot to mention on Thursday was the actual statement that Jake Atlas made once he kicked Boa in the head. I guess I just joined the fight. Like he's a fucking Power Ranger. Like he was a Power Ranger.
Can I say?
Well, Boa threatened Mercedes Martinez. I forgot what he said, and I was like, "That's the most unthreatening thing from somebody that's completely unthreatening."
Let me honestly say,
his ass.
This was like probably one of my favorite and least favorite moments in wrestling this week because of all the things that took place. Like if you're Mercedes Martinez and you're about to have a battle with Tian Shaw, and someone comes to your is Jake Atlas. Like I know he's been on the winning streak, but when he comes in, he says, "Looks like I have joined the battle." Like you say, it's like one of the worst superhero lines ever. And then he posed to the camera.
Is it really a winning streak if it's just one win?
I don't know what it is. I thought he got two.
No,
but I could be wrong.
One.
He may got two. Who knows? I give him two just to say it. I don't think he.
No one was great about this week in wrestling for me personally. No AEW Dynamite. That's what made this week great. I don't have to talk about Dynamite. It's my choice if I decide to watch Dynamite tonight, but I'll probably watch the Clipper game or go to sleep or maybe watch a bunch of movies that I have not seen or play video games. All I know, I have so many other options instead of watching Saturday Night Dynamite. I'm an asshole. I'm sorry.
But Jungle Boy's going to fight Kenny Omega, which is probably going to be a really good match.
Yeah, but I don't think Jungle Boy's going to win.
Going by our criteria,
I know
it's a minimum of a 3-star match. Going by the criteria we have, it's a minimum 3-star match.
Will it be better than Natty versus Mandy Rose? Will it be better than that?
I don't know. Mandy Rose gets a V-trigger star, so a special
V-trigger!
Yeah.
Automatic.
It's like the stars they're giving
Mandy
out on Mario Party at the end.
All right, I mean, that's pretty well. I mean, do you guys want to talk about Io and Zoe teaming up going against Aaliyah and Jessica Maya? Because I don't really need to talk about that because all it is was like
I like the season. I want you to talk about Robert Stone's outfit.
No. Under no circumstances.
I want you to talk about that sports coat.
I'm not.
I don't even know where you begin to put that on.
Those are accessory
you
straps.
Over
so
your head,
after he
no.
So after he put the sport coat on, they're strap crosses. Like it's like if you have an outdoor backpack, when you need to strap stuff to the back like your canteen and stuff, you have straps that can attach. That's what he did with his outfit. That by far was one of the worst outfits I've ever seen. And for a grown-ass man to show up and wear that on national TV, here's a thumbs up for another grown-ass man. That was impressive, Robert Stone, because I don't think I'm man enough to wear that shit.
But he's gonna lose his brand to Frankie Monet and Prince Presley. And I want to say the most impressive dog in the history of dogs when he barked on cue when Robert Stone reached over to him. It was amazing. To me, that was my favorite moment.
Manny, I guess, and I spent a lot of time on NXT, but I have a question for you because I'm curious. When we had the tag team show off in the women's division and they gave Ember Moon the microphone, did you cringe or did you feel like she's gotten better on the microphone?
She's still cringeworthy, but Shotzi was just as bad as well.
Marbles.
Would you say that since Shotzi has been hanging out with Ember, our biggest fear of Shotzi
Ember is not a disease. You cannot catch Ember Moon.
When I contacted the Ember Moon virus, I must announce my retirement from the game of basketball.
I feel like you can catch Ember Moon. That's just my opinion, but I could be wrong.
You can't, because you gotta go to the king of black women to go together.
Once again, that's more evidence that Ember Moon might be a disease. Marcus, how do you feel about the NXT Women's Champion still associating herself in this tag division? I mean, I know she got her.
She won it all. She has ambitions. As much as you lack ambition, she has all the ambition. She wants it all. She wants it all. You said it yourself.
You can't say wow when you said it about yourself.
Yeah, but I don't like when people point it out to me, man. That hurts.
You said it yourself.
I know.
So she going after all the gold, and she don't really have a contender. Her contender is Dakota Kai, who needs to turn on her yesterday. Turn on her.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're all waiting for. We're waiting for Dakota Kai to fight Raquel Gonzalez and get squashed.
But we have to get this Tegan Knox return so she can go away again. Because that's what's gonna happen. Damn you, Tegan.
I think that's about all we need to talk about on this week in professional wrestling.
You don't have any low-level stories? What about the update of your boy going by Baron again and being depressed?
I'm not ready to talk about that yet, man. He lost his crown, man. He lost his crown.
I was shocked.
And there was a fucking ceremony. I want at least a king of the ring moment. I don't need that.
No, I was shocked about that whole segment. They had that segment. No one got attacked. Everybody was respectful, and he celebrated with his crowd. Has never happened in any history of wrestling where someone just did what they wanted, and there was no violence, there were no ill words, there was nothing said. It was just a coronation that went off without a hitch. That is like getting wedding that went off without a hitch.
Can someone explain why Nakamura was wearing chef whites?
Man, he brought out his white, man. His outfit, he was pure, man. He saw Pete Dunne at NXT TakeOver and was like, damn, he wore all white. You know what? I'm gonna do that shit too. Where my white outfit at?
He looked like he was about to step into Hell's Kitchen.
What are you doing, you donkey? I ordered raw. That chicken. You're gonna kill somebody.
Fucking donkey.
Fucking donkey.
Do they really play Hell's Kitchen over there in England, Manny? Is that a popular show over there?
It started off in England.
Oh, I didn't know.
Respect on Gordon Ramsay's name, man.
I mean, his food is good. It's enjoyable. With that being said, I guess it's only time that we transition to something that I don't know will be enjoyable by all parts that had to witness this. And it concludes our wrestling. But before we get to that point, I would also, unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys, I have to do it again.
I forgot we had more.
I have to put you guys into the smoke again because we didn't get any emails this week. But if you want to email us, the Sharpshooters, DASharpshooters@gmail.com is where you can send an email to us, letting us know if you bought merchandise or if you helped us out. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, also, please help us out by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and hitting that ring notification. Let us know that you like us. Please come down in the comments for this and talk to us. What is something that we missed? What is something that we didn't talk about? Please engage with us. Let us become great so you can be great. That's what we need.
Hold on. You're starting to sound... You're trying to steal a gimmick. I'm the needy motherfucker. You are not the needy motherfucker.
I'm the spiteful motherfucker, but right now I'm running out of things to say. And just because and just because at the end of the day I want to show the appreciation to Bill from Ohio. Once again, let's look at him wearing that wonderful shirt that you can pick up from storefrontier.com/DSPN, where you can also be as fly as Bill from Ohio rocking that shirt. And if you buy a shirt, please send in the picture so you can be featured on the show.
I honestly didn't think anyone was going to buy that giant logo.
The giant one?
I thought they were just going to go for the small one because we wear it on the show occasionally.
But you know what? I think the giant logo one has a bigger impact. I mean, You know what? I think at the end of the day, we probably should do a t-shirt giveaway. I think it's about time that we give away a shirt to somebody somehow, some way. We need to go and brainstorm. But
Sure.
I'm
gonna buy that shirt and wear it to SummerSlam.
It's only
you
fitting
get on camera
that we end the show.
I won't get on camera.
Talking about anything but wrestling, and all three of us embarked on something that it's somewhat wrestling related because it had John Cena, but that's the wrong picture. My bad, but it's not the wrong picture. But
That's the wrong picture.
we all went and
Why is Han facing the other way?
We don't know because we didn't.
Why did you choose that one?
Short notice. We all.
He looks old in this.
Yeah, he's Jacob, man. We all took time out of our busy schedules to go to the movie theater
Younger brother.
and sit down and watch Fast 9, the movie.
F9.
F9, Fast 9. I don't know if we should start off with saying this will be spoiler heavy or not, but
It is.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it yet, don't stop listening. Come back and watch it.
Continue.
Manny, I already know what Marcus says, and Marcus already says that I'm flirting with you because you're the new fox of this network, and he's been with me for a long time, so I'm going to give you more attention. Manny, overall, did you understand what was going on in F9? Because I know I didn't.
I kind of got it till they went to get rockets, and then when they decided to go into space. Because then I was just like, I don't understand what is going on, and why is the American guy from Tokyo Drift in this still? I can't stand his accent.
So, Manny, I'm going to cut you off right here because Marcus had his own observation. Marcus had his own observation when they showed up in the movie. And Marcus, what did you yell out in the theater right when you saw that trio?
I went, oh shit, Bow Wow. He looks like shit. Immediate reaction. Right away. Right on the back. Because I did not expect to see these three guys here at all in this movie, especially building rockets. But them showing them cutting to Bow Wow, who looked like he aged 20 years. 20 years. And then what I think it's supposed to be like a week from the time they were off the thing. So what am I getting done? What am I getting done for?
Don't worry about that, man. It happens.
But I don't understand. So if you want to talk about plot to this movie, I don't think we have it. I don't know what the cube was they were trying to get. What did it weaponize? I think it got a satellite of some kind, but they had it in two separate spots. But it was hidden. It only worked in Japanese blood of that little girl. And so I was so confused about what was the actual plot of this one. And the main thing was, it was about family.
Well, so the greatest thing about it, Marcus, I felt like they thought they were clever to foreshadow DNA being a very important role of the movie, because when we had the random moment of Vin Diesel being in a paddy wagon with all these women, and then it's Cardi B talking about, oh, we got Jacob Gunn with his DNA, and it unlocks everything. And I'm like, what? How did you get out of this situation? It troubled me from the beginning. Let me tell you my biggest concern. I'm going to jump to Fox Manny right here because, that's where all my attention is at.
By the Fox?
Manny, I personally did not like the flashback portions of the movie. I did not like that they found somebody that was supposed to look like Vin Diesel and John Cena, and those guys couldn't act either. I didn't know if that was a requirement for this scene and showing that, as Marcus said in the theater, when white people start losing money, it becomes very dangerous because they start doing crazy, crazy things. How did you like the throwback scenes in Fast F9?
It explained things, I'm not going to lie. However, the young Vin Diesel, you guys won't know who this person is, but everyone else that follows football will. The man looked like Kylian Mbappe. Possibly one of the most French forward for Paris Saint-Germain. my man just asked me a question to fucking eat.
What? Yeah, I'm asking a question. I care what you're talking about. Let me come to my soup.
I was listening. I know who I know who Mbappe is. I do.
You couldn't wait.
Man, you don't understand what I got sitting over into this right of me, man. There's a plate of food that I want to eat. but the only thing I felt that I could eat with dignity was the grits.
Oh, hold on. So you're being professional now, but when on our show, you disappeared for about 20 minutes and came back with fucking salmon.
You know what? You're right. You know what? Let me show some respect. Hold on, I'll be back.
You're still on camera.
Yeah, you're too big to try to hide from the camera. You're not eating bacon. Well, anyway, I'm going to talk about these flashback scenes. One, I think young Vin Diesel, or as you said, Lord Mbappe.
Mbappe, Marcus. Mbappe.
Kylian Mbappe.
Kylian Mbappe. I want to say he's a better actor than Vin Diesel ever could dream to be. Vin Diesel was horrible, and his shock and trying to be an emotional faces were the absolute worst I've ever seen anybody attempted to. Like, is he trying to cry here? Is he trying? Is he trying to get emotional? Is that sympathy? What are you going for here? That blank stare confused the shit out of me of what emotion I'm supposed to feel right now. And the way he stared into sometimes with John Cena, or somebody was talking, and they were like, Jacob, you still alive.
Marcus, what was your favorite worst scene in the movie?
Oh, the more I thought about this, it has to be John Cena after committing some form of a heist, I believe. Deciding I'm going to shoot a harpoon across multiple buildings, which seemed like the longest and hardest way to travel anywhere. He was never getting
You were so casual about it.
Benny,
Yes.
Benny, I have never visited Edinburgh. I've never been to the UK.
I'm sorry, where?
Edinburgh?
Edinburgh.
Is there really that much ziplining space for you to zipline across the whole country? Like, at the end of the day, your plan was to zipline 5 miles across the city. Could you have made a shorter pickup point where Duke could have picked you up? I just felt like this was a flawed plan from the beginning. Manny, I agree with Marcus. Zipline was pretty bad. What about you? What was one of your least favorite scenes from the movie?
Every scene with the fucking magnets. I feel like it was overdone. They overdid it so much to the point where Cena was in the car and they used the magnet to pull the car into the van.
Yes.
So
I enjoyed the magnet pulling into the van. I enjoyed it, but I didn't understand the physics of how the magnets worked the entire movie.
well, you have to understand magnets to understand that.
Car,
But how did
they're
it stop
in a
him from
metal
not...
car. Why isn't the magnets pulling the shit that's a part of the car apart? Like, if I'm in that van, I feel like those magnets will pull off shit that is metal that makes the car actually run. You know,
No, but I don't,
maybe an
I don't
axle or
understand
something.
I don't understand how they captured him because he could still have got out because that car made a giant hole in the truck. He could still open the door. It's not like the magnets were keeping the door shut.
I believe he may have been knocked out, Manny. Maybe he was knocked out. Because there was a lot of, I'm going to crash. Oh, we want to talk about worst scene. I'm sorry. This is the absolute
I didn't get my
worst scene.
chance, Marcus. I would like to talk. You guys a picture. I would like my opportunity to talk about my least favorite.
Hold on,
scene.
you're eating. I'm trying to let you finish your meal, sir. All right? I'm trying to let you fatten your stomach up. Eat your pork and bacon and let me finish my point, all right? Let's watch him eat. So, the bridge scene, early on, where they're going to the bridge and Vin
smacking his
Diesel
lips like
decides.
he used to.
I know. Got class. Oh, now I gotta see what he's eating. Disgusting. This is gonna be the clip. Watch Eric eat. Look at him. He fell on his shirt. Fell on his shirt. Eggs fell off the side of his shirt. Probably on the
You
floor.
got egg on your beard.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even know why we even did the review. We could have waited. You know, you could have just been like, oh, it's in the show. Let me eat. And we could have did this. I don't even know why you're doing this.
Yeah, I'm not releasing this now.
Yeah.
This isn't
You wonder why
salvageable.
you get 10 views. You wonder why you get 10 views. Because you decided to eat in the middle of a segment where we're trying to do a review.
You guys should
Or
edit this
something.
out in the master video. This is his live
No.
portion.
No.
I'm gonna leave it at the end. I'm gonna put it at the
You
end
this
of the
review
video.
completely by deciding I'm going to eat right now.
Well, because you wouldn't let me talk about what my least favorite point was, but go ahead, talk about your
you
least favorite point.
No, go ahead.
My least favorite point is when they infiltrate the secret headquarters and they have Vin Diesel and everybody there surrounded by 50 other men. And you can solve all these problems once you get the Asian girl who can lock everything by shooting everybody in that room. Instead, they don't shoot everybody. They activate the magnets, and then it becomes one of the most unrealistic chase scenes I've ever seen that concluded with Vin Diesel becoming breaker of chains by yanking everything down, and then he falls into the water, and we get one of the worst flashback scenes ever where he's like Vin Diesel, the ghost of Christmas past, where he goes and he realized everything that went wrong. He saw where his dad had financial problems. He saw when Jacob did what his dad told him to do. He visited with little Brian. And I was just like, I don't know. And then next thing you know, you see Michelle Rodriguez being the angel, pull him back from the depths because she also jumped while all the shit was falling. Like, the thing is, he did what he did so they could get away, but she stood there and watched the entire time. She could have came down there and helped him a little bit too. He was being stumped out by 50 men with guns, and no one thought to pull a trigger, and that bothered me. But
there's another thing, and it'd be me being incredibly critical. But I can't buy Michelle Rodriguez acting like a parent in anything. Anything.
But I guess another thing that we need to ask the question, how did you guys feel about homeboys in outer space? Like, I mean, they got to outer space. They were using deep diving suits. When I said that, you know what, they're going to go to space, I didn't think they were going to go to space, but damn it, they went to space. Marcus, homeboys in outer space. Ludacris and Tyrese, the first brothers from the hood in space.
Well, as far-fetched as that would seem, it wasn't the most far-fetched in the movie. It wasn't. I was like, fuck it, man, we'll do it. Why not? Attach yourself to this rocket plane in this fucking car and the rocket and go to space and float and drive in space. Go ahead and do it. It didn't seem far-fetched or out of the realm of reality that this movie has possessed it. When earlier, Tyrese was surrounded by guards, shot 14 times, and lived.
Which he played on all the way through the movie thinking he was invincible.
And you know,
but turns out he was.
The sad part about this whole thing is, like, despite everything happening that made absolutely no sense in this movie, the thing that drove me the most crazy was the fact when they decided to bring Mia into the fold. And I'm like, Mia has really had no type of value in any of the movies since 1 and 2, except for being with Brian and and then running off with each other. But her showing up to show that she helped out Jacob when he had ran away when Vin had kicked him. Like, I was like, I don't need Mia here to fight. They just needed someone to go with Michelle Rodriguez to Tokyo to find Han, who was alive. Which, surprisingly, in my opinion, was probably the most sensible, thought-out storyline that they had in the entire movie. How Han was still alive.
Beat around a lot of shit.
Mr. Nobody, Marcus, Mr. Nobody staged it, but he wasn't happy with his performance. Manny, were you excited seeing Han brought back to the franchise for whatever reason he was brought back
Why
in?
are you asking me that? Because it's the Asian being brought back.
You're damn right, that's why I asked you that question. You know that's why. If a black man had walked back into the scene, I would have asked Marcus.
They haven't killed any black people in this series yet. Ja Rule is still out there.
Oh no, Menage!
Is that Tokyo Drift again?
No, that's the first one. It was Monica.
Shit, it was
Monica! Monica!
Oh.
I didn't really care for Han being back, but it's interesting where they're going now.
As I told Marcus, I'm not going to see F10. I'm just not. I can't no more. I'm done.
I need to know where they go because once you go space, where else are you gonna go?
Well, Manny, so no, Marcus, I'm gonna tell Manny the confession. So when we got to the theater, we went through so many trailers. We thought the movie had finally started, and so we were doing a trailer, and they were talking about dinosaurs and Tyrannosaurus Rex and stuff. And so
they're gonna go back in time.
Both Marcus and I was like, shit, they done put Fast and the Furious with damn dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. And so in the trailer, I thought Marcus and I thought we was gonna see John Cena rise up from the tar pits with the dinosaurs and stuff like that. like Marcus, Weren't you extremely disappointed?
It's not somebody. You make it seem like we're completely idiots. That's what you made it seem like. No. They did all the trailers, and then they did the popcorn ad, turn off all your phone and so like, and they had to set up like the movie was coming on. The next thing you know, we're in 65 million years ago, and there's dinosaurs walking around. I'm going like, oh, this must be the start of the movie. Because they did the sign of Universal and everything. It was like, oh, we're here. This is how this movie starts. I had no clue. And then you go through it, and I'm like, what is going on? And how does this have anything to do with dinosaurs? And then you see a mosquito taking blood of a dinosaur. And you're like, what? And then it's the Jurassic Park trailer, and it was a sign of relief, but also disappointment at the same time. I was like, I want to know what's going on with the dinosaurs.
Because I really want to see John Cena in a Ford Mustang chasing after a dinosaur. That's what I want to see. Manny,
what was it? How did they get there? What was the lead up? They went so fast, they went back in time.
Yes. Manny, you have wrote Fast 11 already, man. You have wrote Fast 11.
I think I've wrote Back to the Future.
So, Manny, you might be the best.
80 miles per hour with that one.
Manny, you might be the best at math and possibly physics on this show. Do you think Ludacris calculating how to drive over landmines when they went through the minefield was something that was extremely accurate? And what do you think is more plausible? Surviving driving through a minefield or surviving a missile attack where someone is firing missiles at you but completely missing?
Driving through a landmines is possibly more plausible than a missile attack. Vin Diesel should have been dead numerous times. Even, actually, when he went off that bridge that had already been collapsed, and then he somehow managed to connect the car via a wire, and then that thing split and spin. How are those two still alive?
So
that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was the end of the movie. That should have been in credits. When he hooked the rope and did the bridge, they crashed into a side of a mountain, do 30 spins, and was just like, you okay? Shirt not even dirty.
I think for me,
no scratches on
my
them.
biggest issue that I have
They
with
walked away from that. They walked away from that with no injuries.
Manny, no matter what was going
no
on,
seatbelts either. They had no seatbelts on.
Vin Diesel had the same expression, like, "Oh, ain't shit about to hurt me." Like you're grappling around a mountain on a broke bridge, and he's like,
"This is Tuesday."
Yeah, it's like it's a Tuesday for me.
I do this all the time.
Oh, wait!
I learned this from the racetrack.
We need to answer the question because Manny, you might have the answer to this question. When the movie starts, we are on a farmhouse that looks like it's isolated, no place around, and they have given protocol for baby Brian and everything. Next thing you know, Tyrese and Ludacris show up because they have that message from Mr. Nobody, and the next thing they're making a plane. Vin Diesel's like, I'm not going to go. He stays behind while Michelle Rodriguez is going on the plane. Where did he leave baby Brian at in this? Because no one lived close. Where did Brian go? Because how was he able to drop off the kid?
I'm pretty sure Brian and Mia don't live anywhere near them.
No.
So I don't know where they put them.
And then
maybe he left this. Maybe like Mortal Kombat, where he left this, where they left the child in that little. In that, like, where he told him to hide, told him to stay there, and then called up Brian, like, can you pick up my kid, please?
Yeah, I mean, like, was it like a portal? Because next thing you know, we have him showing up at the airport, and then I think Mia shows up, and then she's like, he's in good hands because he's with Brian. I'm like, huh.
Well, here's my thing. Why would Brian, I'm a shitty husband, let my wife go on some magical spy adventure where I'm a trained field officer from the FBI, CIA, whatever he's done over his time. I'm going to let her go, and I'm going to stay home and watch the kids? I just feel like he's the worst husband on the planet.
Marcus, I can answer that question. And are you ready for me to answer that question? And I can answer it with one word. Are you ready for it?
It better be family.
Family. That's all it is.
If I had a chain with a cross on it, I'd be throwing it at you.
But Betty, you know
it's a ninja star.
Betty, you know it was family. That was the whole premise of the entire movie. It was family. And the thing is, because she knew that Jacob and Dom didn't get along. And maybe Mia knew that why Jacob did what he did. It seems like it should have had a lot more conversation within this family instead of just you're going to race out this city and never come back. Like, and he becomes some type of diabolical secret spy. It don't work out that way.
I don't know how that adds up. He didn't join the military or nothing.
Can I just point out, shout out to Charlize Theron for making a bowl cut look sexy.
Manny,
Yeah.
you know what? AJ Styles bought RuPaul for that because you're correct. I was like, you know what? She ain't a bad person to have trapped behind some glass. I mean, I was like, damn. But then when she got out the class,
They changed her outfits a few times too. So it's like,
when
what's
she
she doing?
when she got
Why
out
are
the
they
class,
keeping her in here?
sub-level boss was probably the worst sub-level boss I've ever seen in my entire life. He was a spoiled rich kid that didn't. He really had no. He was a bad Zemo, and that's all I can say about that.
But what? Let's talk about heel and face turns. And so the plan was to lie to John Cena and say, we're not connecting. So they have their computer on top of this van where you would have to go and actually operate because he thinks John Cena assumes he can fix it. By the way, named Jacob in this. And then the guys gonna come in the room. Haha, there's nothing really wrong. This is a bad time. This is a bad time to turn on your partner. I feel like we're being chased by our enemies right now. I feel like we can do this later. And if we're going to do this, why not just shoot him in the back of the head?
I'm just saying,
never saw it coming.
I felt this whole movie could have ended with bullets to the back of people's heads. I felt like there was a lot of things where people just didn't kill people when they should have been killed. And the situation, a bullet to the back of the head would have just did everything. Manny, couldn't a bullet solved a lot of things in this movie?
You know, a bullet could have solved millions of things. Like every time we watch a James Bond movie, and then the villain has to do their 10 minutes talking to James Bond about their marvelous plan. Why don't you just kill him?
Hold on. And in defense of every Bond villain, if I was a Bond villain and I come up with all my theatrics and masks and injuries and cats and whatnot, whatever makes me a Bond villain, I'm fucking monologuing. I'm telling you my entire plan because I'm so sure I'm gonna win at this point.
At the end,
I'm monologuing. I have to.
At the end of the day, Mr. USA, Marcus, is there anything positive about this movie? Is there anything that you can say, you know what, I did like this?
The cars look nice. There were some nice looking cars in this one.
Okay.
And you know what? I will say this one had more racing than the last 10 movies combined.
Mr. Fox, what about yourself?
I'm just going to say I enjoyed this movie. Because you got to remember one thing. We all watch wrestling, so the plausible, anything believable is out the window at this point.
So, Manny, I can understand that.
Shayna Baszler got nearly killed by a doll 2 weeks ago. You telling me the stuff that happened in Fast and Furious universe is not believable anymore?
Manny, and my brother, Mr. Fox, you know, of the network 3. So, Manny, I'm gonna let you know right now. I understand where you could say, being a wrestler fan, we should like this. However, I'm gonna say that this entire movie, I could not understand what this movie was about. I thought the stunts were pretty. I thought the things were amazing, but they tried to make the overriding theme that it was family, but it showed that this family was so dysfunctional. And that they would have, for me personally, if they would have took out all the flashback scenes, I probably would have enjoyed the movie a lot more. But when they tried to make the movie try to have a sentimental edge to it, and like, I'm supposed to feel sorry for Jacob and Dominic and Mia in this situation, and where their daddy clearly was bad with money and he got debt that he was gonna throw a race, so he had no fucking character in it. And then like, this I just
Eric, none of the Fast movies have made sense ever.
But
so none of them.
At the same time, I have enjoyed them.
In Fast 5, they were in Brazil and they thought the only way to steal a safe was to pull it out of the thing and then drive it down a street.
Hey, wait a minute.
None of those make sense.
Marcus, wait, hold on, Marcus, because you have a very important role, Marcus.
Out of cars on a regular basis. I felt like this was watching. If I could compare this to wrestling, please. This was too many Canadian destroyers I saw kicked out. Too many Canadian destroyers. All right?
Marcus, Panama Sunrise over to the next level. Or it was an ultimate super.
He went to, like, Vin Diesel, they were jumping in and out of cars like it was easy and on top of cars. Like, at one point in the middle of a chase, I believe in London somewhere, that at one point Vin Diesel jumps out of a car, wires on the side, someone jumps on top of that car, and then they go into another car. And I'm going like, they just made that seem like Spider-Man couldn't do that shit. And Superman couldn't survive 90% of those falls.
You will not ruin the summer of John Cena.
No, honestly, let me put it this way. John Cena might have been the best thing about the whole movie. Like,
John Cena gonna kill it in the other movies in this summer.
Like, as I told Marcus, Vin Diesel's got to stop putting people who are better at what he does in movies with him because they're gonna get spin-off. Because at the same time,
he is the worst.
Like Jacob Toretto, a movie by himself being a super spy runner, I would watch that. I have no issue.
It's called Hobbs and Shaw.
Like, I have come to the conclusion. I've come to the conclusion that when it comes to watching the Fast and Furious franchise, you need to take Vin Diesel away from it, and also now Michelle Rodriguez, because she brought absolutely nothing to it for me, and then I like every other character in the movie. I was so upset that I don't know what happened to the other Latin guy. I mean, I guess he's selling bad food in New York, but I don't know why he couldn't be there. I don't know. I asked Marcus, did he die in real life or something?
Probably getting yelled at by Gordon Ramsay in Kitchen Nightmares.
Like, they showed me a clip of him on Kitchen Nightmares being yelled at. What are you doing, you donkey?
If I go back and I wreck my brain for my memory, and we all know my memory is short term, I think all my most hated moments in this movie is when Vin Diesel showed up on the screen. It was just really bad. It's the ride dog at home, Marcus, because he was there with us. We can get him on a phone call. Should I try to call the ride dog and see what he said?
Nah, we don't need his perspective.
You want to go to sleep, don't you?
Yeah, I gotta go to work. Unlike some people around here, where you get to enjoy your fucking Saturdays and enjoy whatever else is going on. I'll be slaving for the man.
This is the job that you chose, my brother. This is the job that you embellished on your resume to talk about you were in multimedia to get, sir. So this is who you are. So, Manny, I think I know the answer. Clearly you would recommend F9s for people to go see, correct?
I am. And I also want a spin-off show where Tyrese is recasted as R-Truth and Ludacris is recasted by Kofi Kingston, and we have the how do you keep yourself looking young? Vaseline and Believe conversation in space. I need that now. I need this today. Make it happen.
As I said about earlier, everyone can have a spinoff and just get rid of Vin Diesel, because I would watch a Tyrese and Ludacris and the girl, I can't remember her name, who I forgot about.
Ramsey.
Ramsey has never driven, didn't know how to drive, but she was not only able to drive a truck that was carrying a giant magnet, she was able to drive stick. I can't drive stick, and I've been driving for almost 20 years. Marcus, can you drive stick?
You can drive anything if I believe.
Marcus, what about you?
If Tyrese can drive in space, I can drive it. Well, I'm going to go with the run-it review scale. I want to give a no star for story. The in-ring work, I thought it was too unbelievable and overdone, so they're not going to get any star for a lot of things.
Every Fox
selling.
movie.
There was no selling. But, there was a little bit. I know it was ridiculous. I just feel like maybe I saw one too many, okay? Just one too many. Like, even them chasing the submarine in the previous one. I think I agree with Eric. It's Vin Diesel's fault. I didn't care about anybody else stunts. But when Vin Diesel was running across the building chasing John Cena, I went, I don't believe that shit.
That looked like a struggling old man trying to catch his son.
No, Manny,
it looked horrible.
Now, let me also say that I think for me personally.
Hold on, I got
keep going.
The finish was, I don't even know what to say about it. I don't even know what they were chasing after. I don't understand what the satellite did. So I don't understand the finish. Han coming back.
Oh, Marcus.
Was like, okay,
so, Marcus, I can tell you that part.
And then the overall entertainment, I give it a star just because of randomness.
Well, I mean, we had a good time talking about how bad the movie was in the theater. So overall entertainment is great for that, because it was a spectacle. And I will say one of the positives, Charlize Theron inside of the box. Every time she came on camera, I was like, oh wow, she can act, and she's actually not bad
Why
looking.
did they just kill her?
I don't know. I don't know why they just can't kill her. Oh, also, Heather Mirren too.
It's done in like the first 2 minutes.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren was probably one of my favorite things because not only was she stealing the necklace that Dominic showed up, but then she went on a high-speed chase to find out that it was just a clever ruse because Jacob had paid her more money to bring Dominic to a party that he had already had infiltrated with his women officers. Like, he knew all this was going to happen. This movie, it was too much Vin Diesel. And that was the problem with this movie. If you go back to all the past, let me finish my point. If you go back to all the previous Fast movies, there was not that much Vin Diesel because he was upset about stuff. I feel like this is just too much Vin Diesel. We had the Vin Diesel backstory. We had the Vin Diesel current story. And I just didn't need it. I needed everybody else and less Vin Diesel. Now, what was you going to say, Steamy Glasses?
Well... How dare you? How dare you call me Stevie Glasses? Oh, dude, I forgot my damn point. I forgot what I was going to say. Can't believe you do me. So, Manny, what did you think of that party? That's what I was going to say. What did you think of that party where it was nothing but women and fancy cars outside the house? But John Cena sitting at a bar alone with his gun. No one seems to be having a good time at this party.
But it was the ruse, wasn't it? I don't think John Cena wanted any part of it.
It was a lot for a ruse. A double ruse.
But to be fair, if I was in that situation, I'd be doing exactly what John Cena does, because I don't like people.
Let me also point out that...
I told Eric that was Bobby Lashley's house. That's what the champion looks like he has. It just stops outside of his house.
Can we go back to Tokyo because I want to go back to the scene with Mia and Michelle Rodriguez where they got looked like they had one of the most fire bowl of ramen that they could get. Like that shit looked like it was delicious and they were just picking around it. And the next thing you know, somehow Michelle Rodriguez get an epiphany. What did Han say that his great escape was Mexico? And then you look up and you see a Mexican flag in the window. And it's like
that could be anybody.
That could have been anybody that they broke in, and just so happened when they broke in, the SWAT team showed up to attack people. Like, it just, like, at the end of the day, if Han saw them, he should just went up to him and was like, hey, you know, like, and then you find out this was all John Cena's clever ruse to get all the pieces back to where it needed to be.
No. First, when the grown-up little girl comes in that scene, she already knows Mia and Michelle Rodriguez, like they've been hung out before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mia? Hey! Oh shit!
Like we're supposed to believe that Han would spend all this time talking about Mia and Michelle Rodriguez. Like, you know, it was two bad bitches, man. Mia, she married Brian, and then Michelle Rodriguez, like, she used to be a street racer, but then she decided to hang up her steering wheel to be a parent to some child that's not even hers. That's called little Brian, man. My family is fucked up, but it's all about family.
Do you think they need to just kill off Paul Walker and stop bringing him up? I feel like it's getting more and more awkward whenever they bring up Brian. It was like, what Brian doing? Sitting at home. No. We had the barbecue at the end. Brian's running late.
So, I personally thought
he's dead.
No. So they said they couldn't.
Dead, but then they keep having him show up.
No, so they said he was running late to the cookout, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At the end. So they said they couldn't say grace because there was an empty chair. That's implying Brian didn't have a chair at the table.
Also, I want to understand how. First of all, let's point out because Mia and Brian had a kid together, right?
Yes.
That kid wasn't at the party. So are we supposed to?
Brian.
So why was Mia traveling not with her husband and her kid? Like, why is she showing up to the party without everybody else that's there with them? Like,
she was with Jacob.
Family.
And then Jacob didn't show up to the barbecue. I'm sorry. He on the rough of the law, just like everybody else should be.
I just want to point out.
By the way, no repercussions of the beautiful place of London, England has been wrecked, or France or whatever. No mention of this anywhere. No, like that was some serious damage with the magnets that destroyed literally. That was they had multiple 9/11s. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, multiple people died, man. Multiple people died just so they can have a satellite. Just so they could have a satellite that could hack everything and have all the missile codes and stuff like that. That's what the whole purpose of the movie was.
I feel like if you got the U.S. military or even some world military guys involved in this, it would have made a lot of work less work. Oh, we just aim a missile. We destroy that satellite ourselves, guys. All right. You have to send 2 random black dudes to space. We got this.
Like, how do you even get over, like, where did they even get the jet to do the launching thing where he was running a simulation where Tyrese and Ludacris die every time?
I believe that was John Cena's jet. But the question is,
how
how can
can
homeboy fly that jet?
License?
Yeah. Oh, boy was flying that thing.
And how come Bow Wow couldn't go on the trip? How come he wasn't welcome?
He can't leave the country.
I can't say I hated it, and I can't say that I enjoyed it. I can say it was an experience. That's all I can say it was.
I enjoyed it. Will I watch it again? No.
Well,
Okay. Of the movies we reviewed, where does this one rank over Godzilla and Kong versus Kong and Mortal Kombat?
I think it's at the
believe
bottom
those are the
because I
other
have
two.
no desire to ever rewatch this movie again. No desire. But I knew that going in.
Watch Godzilla and Kong again.
I would watch that again. I if I had it.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. That black guy
No,
yelling
no.
for no reason all the way through it just made no sense.
I'm sorry. This was just, it was
Conspiracy brother kills that one for me.
it was too much Vin Diesel for me, and I know I was supposed to take Sharpie wife to go see this movie again, but I cannot sit through this movie twice. I cannot. I just cannot. I cannot. No.
I would.
Yeah, but see, Manny.
I'd probably watch all 9 in one go.
But Manny, you would also do it completely drunk too, because like I can see you doing it after the England match on Tuesday.
Hey! Don't talk about my problems on it.
No, Manny, because I personally think that Mimosa Eric would enjoy Fast 9, drunk as I don't know what, drunk as a skunk. I think this was my least favorite movie of the franchise because it was just too much Vin Diesel backstory for me. I just didn't need that in my life. Is there anything else we need to add to this review?
Shout out to
Tyrese
Burrow.
and Ludacris need a spin-off.
They do.
Spin-off TV show.
Or at least let them pop up in the Hobbs and Shaw movie. Like, give me some of that. Hey,
I'm all for Hobbs-Shaw and Kevin Hart's character in that movie showing up.
does Jacob show up in Hobbs and Shaw?
Oh, that's son. I'll put him in there.
Yeah, I mean, because
That means he's crossing that line. He's crossing that Vin Diesel. He's now enemy of Vin Diesel.
he's not family.
That's-
But, Marcus, I feel like if we want to save this franchise and we need this franchise to prosper, the only way to make this happen, we need to kill off Vin Diesel. He needs to go.
Or add
You can't
Transformers.
kill him off. The franchise will die.
No, Manny.
he
the
is
franchise has...
franchise. And-
He's the
Hold
one
on,
that
the
directs
franchise
these,
is-
isn't he?
Manny.
No, he doesn't direct them.
He has his
Produce.
Manny, tell me this, and I'm just gonna. If you replace Dominic Toretto with Jacob Toretto, played by John Cena, tell me you would enjoy the movie a lot more. That man was the Marine guy.
I would. Yeah, I would. But it wouldn't have the same feel.
I don't want it to have the same.
No, we need to stop this. It should have stopped at like Fast 6. It's still coming on.
But I love the fact though,
So
Manny.
the more
Hold on,
ridiculous
it
it gets,
ends
the
with
more
11.
ridiculous it gets, the more time we give it, the more money we pay towards it. We are encouraging
But
this.
I love Manny's like, I need to end it, but I can't take Vin Diesel away from his pride and joy. Are we supposed to get 2 more?
Yeah, you get 2 more. The final one is Fast 11.
What the hell is gonna happen in Fast 10?
I don't know. They done.
So wait,
They done did everything.
So it's gonna be
Charlize
F10,
Theron's
right?
Still out there, and she's
Did you watch the post-credit scene?
no, we left. I had to go. I couldn't take it no more because you gotta understand.
It's Jason Statham beating up some guy in a punch bag. But he unzips it and then we realize there's a guy inside it. And then there's a knock on the door. There's a knock on the door and it's Han.
Oh, so Han is the guy that's crossing over to link the movies to Hobbs and Shaw.
But how is... I never understood how his death... Jason Statham thought he killed him. He's still not invited to that damn cookout. They didn't explain to me why Jason Statham was at the cookout in the previous movie when he was for damn sure he killed Han. And this does not retrospect. He still tried to kill Han. There was no way he was not trying to kill Han. They doubled down. He was there to kill Han. I'm just saying.
But at the same time, Han is not dead, so
he
that's
shouldn't
not
be invited anymore. He was a murderer.
So I guess the real serious question that I have for you guys, and if Paul Walker didn't die,
in this shit.
If Paul Walker didn't die, do we think the franchise would be where it's at right now? Or do you think this is just...
Yes, it'd be even more ridiculous.
Yeah, he was already a side character.
Wait.
They're probably going to other planets. They're probably going to other planets at that point.
No, I forgot. Literally, the last movie he was in, the plan was that they put him into prison to get that little bit of information from that dude. They
weren't using him really anymore.
That really didn't pay any dividends in the movie.
It's a Vin Diesel show.
Well, that concludes this episode of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast and also our review of F9. Clearly, Manny liked it. I didn't care too much for it. And Marcus gave it a star for overall entertainment. So we're kind of split down the middle. So
it's not. It was a terrible movie. It's a terrible movie.
What were you expecting? What were you actually expecting?
No, I was expecting this, but not this. I don't know. I got way too many dramatic. I think it was just too ridiculous. And it's too much drama that didn't work, I feel like. And I think it killed the mood of the ridiculous action.
I'm telling you, for me personally, and that's where it comes down to it, it's just that you decide that you try to incorporate some drama or into a movie where people who can't act.
They always incorporate drama, but...
No, but still, this was too much. Like, the flashback scenes were just really... When he died, Marcus, when he died in the water, and we had to go through the ghost of Toretto Pass, it bothered me. It bothered me to all like.
I don't feel Michelle Rodriguez could have pulled them out. I like that they infiltrated their base, destroyed their own base, only to the next scene all be hanging out in the base talking about their next plan.
Yes. What did they do?
What was the point of this infiltration?
What did they do with all the dead bodies afterwards?
Someone cleaned it up.
So at the end of the day, when their bomb pins got pulled out, I thought they were running from an explosion. I didn't realize it was just tear gas that they were running from. That was lame to me.
Tear gas. Well, bullets, Eric. Don't
well,
worry.
Marcus.
I like that they took out an entire military squad.
So, Marcus, I just want to let you know it's time for me and Manny, the Fox Network executive, to tuck you in. Because,
No, fuck you.
I mean, it's time for you to go to bed, guy. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast and also our review of F9, the Final Saga or something like that. I'm Eric.
Final Saga?
I'm Manny, the first Filipino in space.
I'm the Care Bear, Marcus the grand finale.
Oh, and I guess we all care.
Spreading my love all over you people.
And remember, you can help us out so Marcus is not in this situation again. So please, please, please help Marcus out. Peace.
Meet Marcus. You may know him from the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show and the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. You may know he spent the majority of last summer living in his car, and now he's lost all his money in Vegas. Help Marcus by donating to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast or going to storefrontier.com/DSPN and buying some of our merch. Help today before it's too late.